Let's go. Feels like the music from Darius Twins. Or is it Darius Twins? Ah, they put the buttons on there. They put brand new buttons everywhere. They went all out, all four corners. They look at the hit.
Wait.
Woo!
Wait.
It's the new ones, man. It's the motion detection ones. That is awesome. I said, Mr. Young, it ain't gonna do this. We just do one of them. We're gonna do all four corners, man. So you stop bitching. I was like, I'll stop bitching. Man, that's awesome. Well, thank you. I mean, they did all four of them. That is sweet. Wow, that wind is really up there. Okay. I can't believe they had the budget for four of them. The only thing I can think is maybe they tapped into the, so like, they're gonna redo that whole street as part of some master plan. And they might have tapped into some of the master plan funds and just put the new blind signal lights up there. I mean, it was due for it. They got kids in the area and they're going to the schools and the rehab centers and the medical facilities. Look, I was about to be a witness to something. What did that guy wind up telling me? He closed out my ticket. What did he say? He said, well, Mr. Young, we didn't really see anything. Because he said it doesn't violate any code. And it's not a danger. And he's wrong on both counts. There is an erosion control mandate on the books. Which means I'll just have to go over their head and maybe upside it too. They replaced all of them. They just went down here and said, we're gonna, because these are new ones too. You don't have to touch it. You just have to wave your hand. Watch. That's exciting. That is all kinds of neat, man. I wonder how long that'll stay like that. Most people don't notice these things. No, everybody's looking at me like, what's up with the weirdo, the geek, man? So that's probably why, that's why it took so long. They were like, well, I was like, this ain't the only one he's reported in. I was like, I get that. Anyway, you look at my old videos and you'll see me trying to push the button and the thing looks like it's halfway broke. Maybe the one on the other side's also. They are persistent, aren't they? Yeah. Uh-oh! Get him, man, get him! What are you talking about, man? Dogs love me. I'm to dogs what chocolate is to horny ladies. really nice out here. Don't get me wrong, it is warm. I think what's mitigating it is, like I said, I'm wearing a backpack full of ice. Yep, still got the learner's permit. You know, he had plenty, he could have made it. I don't... Borracho. You gotta roll your R's with the borrachos. Why do they give asshole such an elegant word? Borrachos. This was a wave one too, but was it a wave one before? It probably was. Wait. About to become a statistic. Vomit. Yep, that's vomit. Why is it red? Yeah, that's nothing but there's nothing, like, nobody owns that per se. I don't know what that's, but there, like it says, potential over there. Now in theory, I should be able to wave my hand on this one too, but it's so worn out. Yeah, it's...
Wait to cross Northwest Highway.
It's so weathered. So this guy hit multiple sites. I got 10 minutes. Not gonna make it. Now, from what I was reading on that map, they were saying the train comes every 30 minutes on the weekends. And for some reason, it'd come at 9:30, it comes at 9:27. At least I don't have to worry about what stop I'm getting off on. It's all gonna go to the same place. We're going to the train hub. incoming enemy. Vamos, Ribes. Seven minutes to go. They removed it. Let's go that way. They said, oh, we need this for the dam project. That's what they told me. And they said, but don't worry, we moved it so that there would be clearance. And no, they just removed it, period. All right. Five minutes. Ain't gonna make it. Should have went the other way. It takes you all to the same spot. Whew, it's starting to heat up. That's not my train. I was going toward Carrollton and All Points Mendelssohn. Minutes.
staring at me, man. I don't feel comfortable like that. I would be okay if I wouldn't let you look up and you keep staring at me, bro. Please, please, please. Assalamu alaikum. I come in peace. Stop staring at me, bro. Please. Dang it. Please. I'm begging. Shit. You like me? I look nice? Say that. Because if you don't, then I get stalled. And then I get loud. And then I get looked at like I'm animal. Because you're quiet. Just staring. It's not okay. I just stated that I come in peace. You haven't said a word. But you get to look at me like I'm crazy or something the whole ride on the train. It's not okay. But I look broke or something, but I got some money. Please stop staring at me, sir. Please. Say something too, bro. You're still staring at me, dog. Damn.
No, you can take it right here.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
You sure? if you need this. Yeah, sorry
You
about
see
that.
I got my seat?
Oh, yeah.
I'll keep it staring at them.
Yeah.
Still gonna stare at me. Beautiful women. Still gonna stare at me. Ugly, dope, monster looking ass nigga.
Pacific Station, dark rail.
We haven't seen too much. We have to freeway that motherfucker. Black man. You took that set house, bro? We have the best shit. Thank you. Thank you. Breakfast, good problem. Same problem. Got a church, you got to throw it off. Yeah, you don't got to go inside that breakfast. Nah, he was out. I got it. It'll take me 10 minutes to sit down. Oh, you went to that?
Okay.
But the church of the Lord, you got hot. Black man, I'll see you. No such thing as fuck. They got too many bums right now. No. After what you tell me that. You got to have things together for yourself. You're a bum. I don't ever like being a bum. I don't want to ever like being one around me. Once you're a bum. I wish I could see it. I can see it. That's what you call a true life bum. Most time people sit back and wait till you go and come back and pick up the weed. That's a bum. It's animal type of folks, man. Come to the house, then you got two baby, you get shoot. That's a bum, bro. Or anyone that got some socks. Over there got some socks, go in there and get some socks. Boy, bums. To scare me. Alright, yeah, King. bullshit. I see that. Can I have a pancake with some? Come down here and slap your ass and say, shut the fuck up. Let's close him off. Why you just said something? Because you won't. No. Think about what I just said. Now I come down here and slap the shit out of you and say, shut up. Bitch, shut up. You started talking.
Yeah. You gotta do over there.
That's how I was.
Okay. I'm gonna do that.
The fact remains is that you know what I'm eating at. And your tongue is the most powerful thing in your body. God knows it is it.
Yeah.
God knows it was it. He knows it was it.
And what's gonna go now?
So it ain't got no script at all.
Yeah.
That's power.
Right.
In other words, if you use it wisely. Come back by me, man.
Sorry, man. I'm not French accents.
Be safe, bro. Be safe.
All right, take him in.
All right.
you are, son. Okay. This won't even go to cross over here. Cross only a crosswalk. Well, all right. This is where I'm supposed to be. Maybe I read it wrong. Y'all are having a meeting today, aren't you? Okay.
I don't know if they're going to allow you to record in a second.
Okay. They'll tell me.
Let me check with them.
Where? Who do I check with?
I'm going to go ask them first.
Oh. All right. That's interesting. You're not allowed to record it. Public meeting. Yeah, but they told me some weirdness about I couldn't record in there. I was like, okay, never heard of that before. It's a public meeting.
Yeah. We talked to him, and I found out what's going on.
That's what he said. He said he's going to talk to him.
Come here, sir.
Thank you.
Sign in right down up to the left.
To the left.
All the way down past that picture right there.
Gotcha. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, cool.
Morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Code enforcement. I got one from another meeting, so it's interesting. Is it in there?
Yes, right in here to your left.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Here's my paratransit ID number. Do you know your paratransit ID number? Yeah. So you just tell them, hey, I'm a paratransit customer. Here's my ID number. I'd like to book a GoLink trip, and they'll set you up just like that.
Is it anywhere?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
wherever you
having
like.
avoiding going that far.
And for example, right now, we have 2 churches that we work with where if someone calls the church and says,
Average wait
I
time.
need help paying this fine,
GoLink's
and I don't know what to do because I can't pay my bills and my phone at the same time, then they send me.
you just
So we don't even have to look for those kind of people.
get off the train.
I know.
All in all,
Right. They should, at all of these.
part of life.
Yeah, so you could
You
use
have to, the churches have their heads on, and you might as well work with the church.
They don't take reservations. You can book it.
Because that doesn't affect it. They're saying they're gonna put.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna.
How are you?
You're still supposed to be.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 100 minutes.
How did you come up with it?
20 minutes where I can find a, but.
That's my normal primary source of transportation. I gotta come to these meetings and always make sure that
How are you guys doing? Good? I like your hat.
Oh, I know about
I give you a lot of examples.
Oh, you don't have to give me examples. I trust you.
Thank you, sir.
I know my voice is heavy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So you just either here or here.
And let me tell you something. The reason you don't have passenger especially in dark, because you have your shelters.
Oh, yeah.
One route is
That's
really
why they don't
effective.
have no passengers.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to take 15, 20 minutes every time I went to the house. Now it takes almost an hour.
And I know all the routes and why they don't have passengers.
They want to increase how much the buses to twist and turn just throughout the route. We need to increase that. I'm good. Yeah.
So Chris is here representing
It's always
Dark
fun to
Age.
demonstrate what he just did.
I've been trained by many, but I didn't have the comments.
Luckily not my area of profession, so
Because you see at the regular town hall meeting, they only give them 2 minutes. Some people don't. They try to go fast, but they have a clock now that turns off.
Okay, we're only nice to back.
No, they just down there like that. For this meeting. Oh, yeah.
I was hoping.
Oh, after they do their talking and all that, then they give us the opportunity to talk. Oh, I don't know. They're gonna tell us and Mark Walker. Incredible. Why they because they have it here, not in some of the hot spots that they do.
So once you get out of
you know what the 1% is, right? 1%, it's every time you take anything like a grocery store or a restaurant or anything that has sales. That's
11 o'clock last night. I
Yeah, that adds up quite a bit.
It's bitter.
So that's why I'm saying they don't need to put in the if you're receiving that from your 1%, the guys that I hang out with, for example, in Hospital and Irving, I always go to see no fares through it. Yeah, because they got the opportunity. They got the stuff no, sorry, I can't respond without
Our
notice
is
No, sorry, you have to have a house for humanity.
Wait.
All the
June. No, let's
they're overflected.
yeah, just let them.
Just eliminate all the days.
Yeah.
Guys in Fort Worth, they come in. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we're late.
Right. They will tell you the more that you have all the free rides, the more you attract the homeless people who have nothing to do all day, sitting on the bus with nothing to find. So, it's all So 7.25 goes to the city, 1% goes to the actual dog. And then there's they've got other ways to fund it.
Oh, she's down.
No, it's Midway 4,000. Police department, fire department, everyone's out of the school district gets more from property taxes.
There's probably a lot of places I brought him I shouldn't have brought him. And he's not the only one I'm screwed up either. So.
Oh, no.
So we should get the members to front rows, not back rows.
I know.
No. It's like an adorable car.
Because
He's been around me before.
2 dozen of us.
But he does get offended with customers. It does offend him. Like this.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Maybe I'll take him out for a cherry lemonade after this, just to try to
You
make
should have got some earplugs.
Perhaps so, yes, ma'am.
Well, they got the podium turned on.
Yes, ma'am.
Stuff for
Wait, they're
It's
gonna
not
change
kind of meeting.
schedule time?
You're right.
Oh, no, but that may be for the. Is that the way they're
for
gonna
what
change
happens
the
when you
schedule
have
time for
some
each
sort
of
of
the?
major
For the frequency, yes, ma'am.
outbreak in a
But
building.
anyway,
That's how that
I
is.
don't know
Public
whether or
bus.
not
yeah,
to
it's too late for
shut it
this
down
part
today or
start if
Thank you.
but,
repair it.
you know, if there's any particular recall election or like,
Remote control.
you can't join us.
Those are public service.
So,
They are using that money
and by the way,
to make city money.
I don't know.
I would say
He hasn't appeared without rest.
the way that they can.
Oh, yeah. I can agree.
For example, pay more for water.
Yeah, and so to your question in your voicemail, I had decided not to bring up the smoking issue, just because I already had 2 other things that I wanted to discuss. So basically, I figured 3 minutes, 3 topics that might be fine. So I still want to.
Oh, Lord. See, I'm allergic to smoke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So what are you doing?
In between these 2? So I'm doing.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you all for joining us today. I am Donna Johnson, Chief Safety Officer, and I will be your host for today's meeting. So I want to welcome you. I'd like to extend our appreciation for you attending today's free public hearing community meeting. This meeting is one of the 16 being held prior to the formal public hearing at the July 8th DART board meeting. So before we get started, I would like to acknowledge our elected officials and board members in attendance today. And we have Board Vice Chair Randall Bryant here with us today, and our CAC members, Hexel, Colorado, Dave Brady, and Phyllis Silver. So thank you guys for joining us. Now I will turn the meeting over to Don Gorman, who is from our Community Relations and this morning's moderator. Welcome, Don. Thank you, Don. So I'm just going to go over a safety briefing really quick. I have an approximate head count of 67 attendees. We are located at 1401 Pacific Avenue, DART boardroom. For our volunteer to call 911, we have Rick. Rick, where are you? To administer CPR if needed, we have Donna or Hans Michael. To retrieve the AED, which is located by the security desk, we have Kay Shelton. Kay. To assist our EMS ambulance greeter, we have Carlos Puerto, who will bring them in if needed. If we are to, or we're needed to evacuate the building, if there's a need for an emergency, we're going to exit this door and we're going to go to our left and we're going to go to the Federal Street. Across the street we will go and we will be clear of the building. If there is a severe weather incident, we will go outside to where our escalators are located or to our elevators, and we will go down to P2. If anyone has a special medical need, please write it on a piece of paper and place it in your right pocket or your right shoe for emergency responders to find.
So just to go over a little of the housekeeping rules, please hold your questions until after the presentation. Questions will be addressed one at a time. Please step to the mic if you have a question. If you need assistance getting to the mic, please raise your hand and a staff person will assist you. If you prefer, you can write your question on a comment card. And you should have received one of these when you walked in. If you have not, if you could raise your hand and one of our team members will bring one to you. Please stay on topic. Questions about potential 2026 service and fare changes will be addressed first. Use of profanity and inappropriate language is prohibited. Questions and comments can also be submitted via dart_townhall@dart.org. At this time, I will turn it back over to Donna.
Thank you, Don. So we'll go into the purpose of today's meeting. And purpose is to obtain your feedback and on the range of potential change, service changes and fare changes for 2026. Your input will help us understand what is most important to you and use that information to shape recommendations for the DART board to consider in August. So in March 2025, the DART board approved a new general mobility program, better known as the GMP. The GMP is a proposed initiative that would redistribute 5% of the agency's annual sales tax among 7 eligible member cities for a period of 2 years. Additionally, through engagement with cities on their strategic mobility initiatives, we have received requests for new services that are not currently funded. To accommodate the cost of the GMP and the city service requests, service reductions for all modes of transportation and changes to fares will be necessary. As you hear the proposed changes, think about how they will impact you, your family, your friends, and your neighbors. When you entered the room, you were provided a comment card. If you did not receive one, we will provide you a comment card, so please raise your hand if you need a comment card. See some hands here, I'll have staff, keep your hands up so staff can kind of see where you are and they can give you a comment card. Express your feelings today with us on that card, please. As we're moving along here, I'm going to ask Hans Michael to step up, and as you're receiving those cards, he'll kind of give you a couple of minutes to card. Yeah. Since we see several hands up here. Okay, so we're almost complete, so Hans Michael.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Johnson, for that introduction. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I appreciate how many people are here, and I look forward to working with as many of you as would like us to try to get to the bottom of any of your concerns or questions if you have those. If you don't, that's fine as well. I'm going to go quickly over the different changes that have been identified as potential for January 2026. These were not done in a vacuum. These were not done quickly or easily. These were done with a lot of caution and concern for the customer. And the focus was on available service, on alternative available service. In other words, if there's a bus route that was being considered, we considered whether or not there would be an alternative available service in the event of that bus route's discontinuation. Also we tried to avoid the midday times and the weekend times, affecting those. That's where our ridership has grown the most since the pandemic. And so we try to minimize the ridership impacts, but chief among our considerations was alternative service available. So I'll start now and go through the discontinuations, and then we'll discuss the frequency reductions, and then we'll talk about some service area city requests that are new services that are potential as well for January 2026. The first is Route 209. This is in north central Dallas and connects SMU Mockingbird Station to downtown Dallas. Alternative services available are listed here, and the most convenient one would be Route 105, or the Kidney Avenue trolley. Route 225 is kind of in east central Irving. The available service, if this were to be discontinued, as has been identified as potential, would be the north central Irving GO Link, which is turned into one of our busiest GO Link services that we offer. If we zoom north to Plano, we've got two routes to Plano to discuss. One is Route 234, which is an extended east-west service. The alternatives available would be a proposed potential citywide GO Link service in Plano, or Route 241 for the segments of Legacy. Also, Route 242, we're going in numerical order, sorry, not geographic order. So we're going in numerical order. We got Route 242, this one is in Lake Highlands, Garland area, and it serves mainly along Walnut Hill, east and west. Alternative service available would be the Lake Highlands GO Link, or for the segment of it that is on Northwest Highway down to the eastern end, that would be Route 20. And then 254, which is back up in Plano, so geographically we're back up in Plano. This one connects Northwest Plano Park and Ride to Parker Road Station, mainly via Legacy. This is one of the newer bus routes. If it were to be discontinued, the alternative service available is the proposed citywide Plano GO Link, I mentioned already. Route 255 is in, which you could say is north central Irving, near north central Irving. It connects Dallas College North Lake Campus Station to downtown Irving Heritage Crossing Station, mainly along Story Road. If this were to be discontinued, the alternative service available is both 231, which does something very similar with the endpoint and the beginning, the origin and the destination. You could still reach those using 231, but also you can use the north central Irving and south Irving GO Link zones. Route 305 is a different type of service. We're going in numerical order here. So Route 305 is an express service. It's got limited access. It goes on the highway. It connects Addison Transit Center, soon to be Addison Station, to downtown Dallas. If this were to be discontinued, as has been identified as a potential, an alternative service available would be Route 239, which is similar in that it does spend some time on the highway. It doesn't spend as much time on the highway, so it comes off sooner and it goes on later, and there's more stops there, but it still connects the same origin and destination. And a similar situation for the 378, this connects Redbird Transit Center to downtown Dallas. If this one were to be discontinued, as has been identified, you could recreate the customer experience by taking Route 109 to either Route 9 on Jefferson or to the rail in Parkland. There's other things you could do to try to get to downtown in a convenient way, but it will not be the same direct connection that's available today for Route 378. I believe this is the last one. This is Route 383. This connects Lake Ray Hubbard Transit Center to downtown Dallas. Alternative service available is Route 224, which is similar to 239. It spends a little bit of time on the highway and then comes off and goes regular service to downtown. So shifting from bus service to potential discontinuations in on-demand service, one of the zones that has been identified is South Dallas GO Link. This is not ridership related because the performance of this zone has exceeded our expectations. It's very popular, it's very used by the community, but because of the abundance of alternative services available, depending on how you count, there's up to 9 bus routes that serve this neighborhood, as well as 4 light rail stations. It kind of separated itself from the other on-demand zones as an option in the identification of potential discontinuations. Also, something that staff has identified as a potential discontinuation is the GO Link zone-to-zone pilot program. So this is kind of like a service on top of GO Link whereby we allow customers to cross zone boundaries, which typically is not allowed, in certain zones that are adjacent to each other where we've identified a strong travel demand pairing. So that program would be discontinued in January 2026 if approved according to these identified potentials. In addition, the frequency changes that we're discussing would impact rail and bus, so this has to do with all of them. For light rail, it would go from 15 minutes in the peak to 20 minutes all day, and then on the weekends, 30 minutes after 7, and the rest would be 20 minutes. TRE and Silver Line would be 60 minutes all day. That's not what we're planning on right now, but that is what the potential has been identified to do. For frequent routes, which are all our routes from 1 to 57 right now, those are the potential change there, except for 28, 41, 47, and 47, the potential change would be to 20-minute frequency all day. For those routes, 28, 41, and 47, because of lower performance, lower ridership, lower utility by the community, those would be 30 minutes. And then after 7 would be 30 minutes as well. Okay, so if you move into the 100 series, which is Route 101 to 122, those would be reduced to 20-minute peak service. Right now it's 15. And then after 7 p.m. would be 60 minutes. And then weekend service would be 60 minutes. So weekends and then evenings would be the same. And then for local coverage bus, now these are all the bus routes going from 200 to 255, all those local coverage routes, their frequency, the peak frequency would remain, which is 30 minutes a day. But instead of 40 minutes on the midday and the weekend, that would change to 60. So it would go from 40 to 60. Right now it's 30-40. In the future, it would be 30-60. And the express bus, one of the ones that are not identified for potential discontinuation, Route 306, it would have its frequency adjusted from 15 to 20. Right now it'd be 20, that would match 308. Okay. Apart from these discontinuations and frequency reductions that I've just discussed, there's another group of potential changes for January 2026, and those fall into this category of service area city requests. These have been service area cities that have reached out to DART to help educate DART about how they feel the money available for public transportation could be better spent within their community. And so these have been the result of extensive coordination with these cities back and forth. Some of these conversations have not yet finished. The fruit has not been born. We're not certain what will come out of them, but right now these are the ones we know about that we could potentially do in January 2026. We're already planning some minor modifications to be implemented in September, and I can talk about those if you like. So the first is the Addison Rolling Zone. This would be a new on-demand zone that would basically cover the town of Addison, which you may not know is rather small. It's about 4 or 5 square miles. So that's what this would do. Also, there's a shuttle that is potential for Addison. This would mainly be along Quorum. It would go up to Keller Springs and then go down to Village on the Parkway there, that shopping center on the east side of the tollway. Also, there is a potential Plano's citywide rolling service, which you can conceive of as a Plano rolling zone. A rolling zone in the shape of Plano is what the potential is there. What you see on the screen is what bus service would be remaining if this were to be implemented. And the red dotted lines are the current zone boundaries. Also, East Telecom, which is partly Richardson, would be modified. Also, there's consideration to implement a Plano Legacy shuttle, which is kind of like a bus service, not a normal bus route. It's more like a immediate in its scope and more frequent in its frequency. This is a small shuttle that has been designed for the legacy area to connect employees and to connect businesses and destinations one with each other. This would be the same service, but on the weekends would have a different path that it follows. There's also GoLink modifications that have been requested by the City of Carrollton. Most of these will be implemented in September. This is some of the stuff I was talking about. Mainly what we're trying to do is expand GoLink service in the Carrollton area as much as possible while still maintaining the wait times and the on-time performance that customers are going to enjoy. Also, we would modify GoLink service in Rowlett to include Firewheel Town Center in the event some of you are familiar with that. And in the park cities, we would modify GoLink to include Love Field. So today you can't do this, but the potential change would be to include the airport in the GoLink in park cities. So you'd be able to take the GoLink from anywhere in park cities, including the transfer island there at Northwest Highway and I can't remember that street. But anyway, that transfer island there with the Target and Central Market Art, you can take that here. Okay, in addition, University Park has requested the University Park specific construction worker shuttle program. There's a lot of major construction going on in this area that didn't used to be the case, and parking on the street has become a problem, so they've asked for Dart's assistance in that. And moving away from those service area city requests, we have also identified some potential changes that could help with the budgetary constraints that Ms. Johnson detailed. One of those is the deployment of what we call GoLink rally points. If any of you have taken GoLink at Cypress Waters in the past 6 months, you know what these are. But basically, it's a change from getting dropped off and picked up wherever you like to getting dropped off and picked up at specific pre-designated locations, kind of like a bus stop works. And also, there's some consideration to reduce the coverage of paratransit, ADA paratransit service. Right now, DART covers the entire service area, but according to the law, 3/4 mile buffer service around fixed route is allowed. So what does that mean? That means around our bus routes, around our train lines, you go 3/4 mile in each direction and you create kind of a zone along those things. It would look like this. That would be where you can order paratransit service. I believe in the fare section, we'll discuss a little bit more about service outside of that zone, but the dark green area is what you see here, is the identified potential change to paratransit. Okay, with that, I'll turn it over to our esteemed representative from the Finance Department. Thank you for your attention.
Good morning. My name is Andrew Kramer. I'm the Vice President of Finance here at DART. We're going to talk about some fare changes that we are proposing as part of this change. So I'm going to run through these real quick, and then so we can get to your comments. So regional fares are the fares that we provide for use across multiple transit systems, so DART, Trinity Metro, DCTA, etc. So we are proposing to make the following change. We would like to replace the TRE one-way pass with a 3-hour regional pass. We'd like to adjust the regional day pass down from $12 to $9, or a reduced fare of $4.50. Establish a regional monthly pass of $96, and then we would like to eliminate the regional annual pass from our fare offerings. So we also need to make some adjustments to our corporate annual pass sales. So currently, those passes are offered at a discount of 52%. Our target that the board has set us has generally been to get to a 25% discount. So over the next couple of fare changes, we will try and get us back to that 25% discount. But we'll start with a 37.5% discount in 2026. The current rates are based on the 2015 structure, so we need to make some adjustments there, and then we would conform to local and regional pass pricing to the approved monthly fare. So this just shows the discounts that could be achieved under this new fare structure for large sales of group sales of passes. So as Hans Michael talked about, we are proposing a few changes to the paratransit fares. So FTA guidance allows transit agencies to charge up to 2 times the base fare for ADA paratransit services. So the base fare currently is $3, meaning that per regulation we could charge up to $6 per fare. So the current price of a paratransit fare is $3.50, which was approved in 2018, but it was not implemented until March of this year. We are proposing to increase the paratransit fare up to $6. That would put us at the maximum amount for the paratransit fare. And there's a couple of reasons that we'd like to make an adjustment from $3.50. Primarily, we want to move off of a 50-cent increment and get onto a whole dollar increment, just so we're not having to deal with change. So operationally, we'd like to do that. We're going to remove the current feeder fare, which is a connection to fixed route of $1, and then we're proposing to implement a non-ADA fare of $10 for out-of-zone travel. So that would only be implemented if we made changes to the ADA paratransit zone by pulling them back to 3/4 miles, like Hans Michael said. And then the only reason that we would do that is if the board elects to make that change to the ADA zone coverage. So we also are proposing to make some adjustments to the GoLink service to introduce distance-based fares. So currently, GoLink is a curb-to-curb service, as many of you know, and so we would like to propose 2 options. First option A would be for travel to or from a DART designated stop or rally point within the zone. So this would include active GoLink fare media, and it would include transfers to fixed routes. So a rally point would be a predetermined spot where you could pick up a GoLink or drop off for a GoLink, and that would be covered under the base fare. So it's very similar to what a current bus stop structure would look like. We have a few of these up in Cypress Waters, so we sort of started to test this product out. The other option would be the current curb-to-curb service that does not connect to a rally point or fixed route services. So trips that were curb-to-curb would be charged on a per mile basis, and so rates would increase $1 per mile after the first 5 miles. 5-mile trip would be $3. Every mile above that would increase in $1 increments up to a maximum of $15 per trip. And then finally, we would like to make some adjustments to the day pass voucher program. So we need to eliminate the regional day pass voucher. So that would be the regional pass that allows us to transfer from one system to another, so from DART to DCTA or Trinity Metro. So there's some we're unable to continue offering that because the other 2 agencies do not recognize that voucher. And then we need to add we would like to add, a local 3-hour day pass voucher at the current 40% discount for our government, alternative school, and nonprofit institutional partners. So that would be adding a $3 pass on top of the current day pass voucher that we have. So we're not eliminating the day pass voucher for DART travel, just the regional pass, and then adding the 3. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Donna, but I did want to just real quickly recognize Maury Milligan, who is a DART board member who also stepped in that we did not acknowledge previously, so thank you for being here. Thanks.
So, thank you, Don, Michael, and Andrew. As we proceed on to our next step. So here are the calendar of events. And so before we move into our questions and comments, if you have questions, I'm going to ask you to start lining up at the mic if you can. If not, we can bring the mic to you, or we can get to your comment cards, and we will read those and I will read those aloud. Please keep in mind that we need you to understand your highest priority. We need to understand your highest priority so we can ensure the board has the information they need for a decision. The potential service reductions are just that, they're potential. Potential considerations subject to board action later in August. Remember, as we work to develop the FY26 annual budget over the next several months, we are looking to minimize the impact on service and riders. The changes discussed this morning, represent a menu of options and are worst case scenarios. Worst case scenarios, I'll repeat that. So this concludes this section, and we're going to move into our Q&A or comment section at this time.
Next question. I just want to make sure what I'm supposed to do.
She said, line up with the mic.
She said line up.
Just as people are coming up, I'll just mention that the final pre-public hearing community meeting will be July 1. That's a virtual meeting. So in the event that you weren't able to offer your comment today or connect with us in some other way, that final meeting on July 1, which I think is a Tuesday. I think it's a Tuesday. That will be virtual, so you can join the meeting.
My name is Diana Daniel. My problem is that the increase amount, right now, I pay $70 a week because I go 5 days a week and I have to go to and from. I want to know, do you guys have a discount for the senior citizens or do you have a monthly pass? Because that can make your rate can make me go like $240 a month just to do my basic. And if I do it, a doctor appointment, it's going to be way over there. So are we going to get a discount for seniors? That's what I'm asking.
Mr. Craig,
That's my fault. You can get a discount for being disabled senior.
There are no changes to our current fare structure for seniors currently proposed. So what we have right now would be what we will continue with.
thank you for the question.
My question is, y'all went from $3 to $3.50. You're saying that you want to cut out the 50 cents, so why don't you just increase it to $4 instead of $6? As far as the GO Link, I have to walk 2.5 blocks to get to the GO Link. It doesn't even go in my neighborhood. I mean, even if you made it wide range, it's still not gonna go in my neighborhood, because I live in West Plano. And then I have to travel to Dallas. You're making bus changes. Right now, I have to take the 241 to Coit Spring Valley and then the 200 to Ridgeland Community College. By you doing all these changes, you're cutting out some of the Dallas colleges. And there's no sense. You're talking about worst case scenarios as well. The worst case scenario is y'all making these changes, which is not for the best. I mean, literally, it hasn't been for the best since you made the first change. You're literally going to cause someone to die. Whether it be a dialysis patient or like me, a teacher, I'm dyslexic, so I read everything backwards. So you're literally going to cause someone to die if you keep making changes like this. That's not good for the people that are riding dark veterans. Some of us can barely afford the $3.50 because we're on a fixed income. Some of us are literally not going to be able to ride dark veteran. So you're going to lose riders as well. you wanna expand, why don't you expand to like Frisco and Arlington and stuff like that? Why don't you try to expand that way? And right now, all the buses and the dark paratransit already goes to Lovefield. And they go up to the DFW. So you're talking about things that is already happening. So why change it?
True.
Thank you for your comment.
Maybe with the trip specific stuff, we can get with you afterwards and do trip planning if that's what you'd like to do. About how the impacts with French.
I have written all my questions down.
Okay, yeah, we'll respond to them.
So I have actually been sitting with your survey people and filling out comments about this for 5-6 months now. And I'll tell you, the really fun part of the whole process, it's not about the fare changes. It's really about how many more people are getting onto the buses, getting onto the trains. And if you keep increasing the fares, I have sat with quite a few people doing the surveys and asked, why aren't we increasing police officers? There are so many people who are in here paying their fees when we get on the buses, get on the trains. Have you been on one of these buses where someone gets on and after they pull in 60 loads of laundry, then they explain, I'm sorry, but I don't have anything to pay today. Or the guys who get onto the trains and they light cigarettes right next to you. Or the people who get onto the buses or trains and they have the guns that they talk about how they need to kill themselves. It's like, where are the police officers to keep our rides safe? If you're going to increase the budgets and increase the fares, I'm hoping that you are allocating part of this to increasing the police officers to, assure some quality assurance. Have you considered anything like that yet?
We have recognized that there are some a few shortfalls, and so we can get your comments and got your comments noted, and then we can get back to you.
All right, I can actually just leave mine right here. I mean, my suggestion, very plain and simple, is you guys need to have like 1 police officer per bus and 2 police officers per train.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
My comment is the fact that for us that are legally blind and blind, there doesn't seem to be, when I ride with someone, I am allowed to have a assistant. Will that person have to also pay that $6 increase to ride with me, to assist me?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And also, we talk about this increase. It's going to create a hardship on a lot of seniors that ride with you. I didn't hear anything about a senior discount or a veteran discount. Is that something that's being considered? Because fixed incomes, when you go to talking about doubling what I pay, that's going to really affect my income greatly for me to get to the doctor and a lot of places that I go. I use DART as my main transportation to buy food, doctor visits, all of these things. And so now to increase that, that's going to take a big chunk of my income. And my rent is already not cheap. So, is all of this being taken into consideration? I heard no mention of senior discounts.
And there needs to be.
Thank you for your comment. The answer to the question is that there are no changes to our current policy related to senior discounts at this time in these proposals.
Is that something that's going to be considered?
We will look at that in future fare structure changes, yes.
Okay.
So, just to assist, the seniors currently get a 50% discount. So you will need to register with our Dark Mart, you can do it online, but you do get a 50% discount. Well, seniors get a 50% discount, and veterans also get a 50% discount, and that went into effect this year.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Done. She's referring to age.
No, there's no senior discount.
So discounts are only qualified for those that are using fixed route and going through our regular, fixed route service.
I know when they did.
What age does it start? You don't mind me asking, what age does it, 65?
So I need to remind everyone, we have a limited time, so if you could leave your comments or questions to one, so we have a long line here, and we want to hear as many people as we can today on our limited time. So if you could just keep your question or comment to just one question or comment, we appreciate it. Thank you.
So here's what I don't understand. We're talking about raising the cost of paratransit for people who are disabled and don't have any other means of getting around the city. We're talking about getting rid of South Dallas Goaling, which by the presentation is the most used goaling zone in the city, serving one of the poorest, most deprived areas in the city. And for what? To increase goaling service in affluent areas like Addison, Plano, and the Park Cities. So the people in Park Cities can get their construction workers and their maids to the work, while we in deprived areas we lose the transportation options that we have now. You're talking about charging disabled people on fixed income a higher rate. I just want to understand, how can we justify this? Especially because it was mentioned one of the reasons for this is starting Silver Line service 4 months early. If you just started it when you planned to, would we still need to do all of these cuts? Why do we need to start Silver Line service earlier if it means that disabled people on fixed incomes have to pay more?
Thank you for your comment, and just a friendly reminder, these are potential changes in worst case scenarios. And you know, nothing has been set in stone. This is potential changes that we are just providing you the information.
Okay, my name is Mary Herrera. I go to dialysis 3 days out of the week. I have a son that's disabled and goes to daycare every day during the week. If you do a rate increase on ADA, which I'm talking about, in doubling it, that would really, in a household that is on a fixed income, on the edge, on a budget, I would have to put that in the same considerations. Do I buy medicine for the house? Or do I skip some medicine? Or do I have to skip going to dialysis to make sure that there is money to ride the bus? Well, not the bus, the ADA, to send my son to daycare? What would we have to do to take that into consideration? Because there's a lot of people here that are elderly and disabled. How are we supposed to afford that? It's trying to choose. Do I take this medicine? Do I eat? And do I have enough money to go see the doctor? Because there are days that I go to dialysis and I go straight to Parker because I have a doctor's appointment. or I have to take my son to go see his doctor. So I have to get him from daycare, right home to the house, from the house to children's medical, and from children's medical back to the house. And that is a big charge that we would have. I understood when we went up 50 cents. Okay, that's fine. I can still handle that. And I can even handle $4 per trip. But once you get beyond $4, it's a question. Are we gonna be able to afford it, or are you gonna put us in risk, especially myself? Because I'm not really supposed to miss any days that I go to dialysis. And I can't leave my son that's disabled by himself at home. I have to absolutely send him to daycare. So what are we supposed to do? Take in consideration and think about that. Thank you.
I got some things too to say about us bus passengers on dark and ferry transit. Sometimes us passengers are not too real nice to drivers. I have a lot of nice drivers, and I had what you call a few bad apples, and I just let it go. But still, we should stop and think about both ways, not just one side. I have problems too. I have been taken out of Medicare and Medicaid, and I have to pay more than $4. To me, I could afford $4, but still, and what we need right here is a lot of bus shelters, a lot of bus, a little more bus lines, because I used to have 2 and more 4. Now I don't have any, so that's the reason most of the time, and I'm glad we got ferry transit. But I like for the ferry transit people and the ferry dark people to talk to me, and I can tell you a lot of things about the bus drivers, a few, and good drivers, ferry transit, and a few bad ferry transit bus drivers. Not everybody's a people. We should pay attention to everything, not to one side. And I even put here my phone number so they can call me and I can tell them what is good and what is bad. And the bad thing about ferry transit is those bus drivers, they go by their thing and they go the long way. You're wasting time and you're wasting gas and wasting our time. Because I've been touring all Dallas County without my permission, but I enjoy it because I'm getting to know a lot more places. But still, I got a lot of good ferry transit bus drivers and dark buses too. The bus drivers are real nice. Like I said before, we got a few bad apples, but we got a little bad bus passengers on dark and in ferry transit. You should call. If you can't go, call them and cancel. Don't let them go and we wait there 10, 20, or even 30 minutes because they couldn't come out or they forgot to tell them. So remember, it goes both ways. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your comment.
Hi, I'm Risa Weinberger and I live in Dallas. My son and his 2 roommates are amazing men who all live together and they have special needs. They do not drive and they're entirely dependent on DART for their transportation. They proudly live in their own home and go to work on DART so that they can support themselves. If they do not have safe, clean, reliable, and affordable transportation service through DART, they will no longer be able to travel to their work and support themselves. Please don't let them down. Thank you for remembering all of your most loyal riders. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jeffrey Swisher. I live in Dallas. I do not drive.
I am completely dependent on DART for all transportation. To increase ridership, don't cut service, don't increase cost, because doing that will cut ridership to DART and make the system safe from drug users, dealers, and drunks, and homeless people. Thank you, DART, for providing service to me for the past 19 years. Thank you for the comment.
Well, I have two questions, and they have to do with slide number 6. They probably could be answered by finance. Number 3 said, we anticipate opening the Silver Line early and need one-time funding to cover 4 extra months of operating costs. I don't understand why that would be a funding issue. And number 4 mentions gross limitations and inflationary cost pressures on our annual budget, meaning the cost reductions. I don't understand how gross limitations, obviously inflationary cost pressures, but I don't understand how gross limitations, gross of what. My main thing is that question number 3, if we're getting revenue early from the opening of the Silver Line, I don't understand why this is a funding issue.
One of the things that the board has asked us to consider is advancing the opening of the Silver Line. Silver Line is run by, similar to TRE, it will be operated by one of our vendors, and the contractual cost of adding 4 additional months to Silver Line is about $9.2 million. Growth limitations would refer to just the annual growth pressures that we face on costs, labor, insurance, fuel, electricity, for operating the system. And so we have to take those into account while we are building our budget and making decisions about the services that we're going to provide.
Well, I'm curious, with the Silver Line, are we giving them an incentive? Are we giving the vendors an incentive of opening up early? And by the way, I don't really understand why it's early, because according to all the notes I have, we were supposed to open up in 2022 or whatever,
So we are opening early from a budget perspective, meaning I only have 8 months of funding currently in the budget proposal for FY26. So in order for us to open in sooner than January of February, we would need an additional amount of money. Correct. Thank you.
Thank you. Just want to remind everyone, we have a lot of people in line here, and we want this meeting is to hear what everyone has to say, so please limit to one comment or one question, one or the other, so we can get everyone in this long line. We can hear everyone.
Thank you. I'm quite sure that I am speaking for quite a number of us in regards to ADA, DART ADA services and costs. First of all, the meeting is held in an area that did not make it very easy for people in strollers and wheelchairs. I know there's no ramps in here. Usually, and I realize that this is an all-inclusive meeting, however, you can expect people in strollers and wheelchairs and people who are disabled, who are not able to walk up the steps to the seats. I'm just saying. Now, getting to the real problem here, ADA costs, transportation costs, is it proposed? I know that it's potential, but is it proposed to up to $6, or is it proposed potential to $6? That's the question.
The proposal is up to $6.
So it could be in a range anywhere from $3.50 to $6.
That is within the board's discretion, yes.
Okay, I'm just going to say this one time because everybody else has pretty much brought it up.
But Dart ADA needs to think about, and again, I put a strong emphasis on disabled people, those who are blind, those who have hearing disabilities, those who are in wheelchairs, those who are on fixed incomes, especially the seniors. I don't feel like there's any consideration at all.
No.
None whatsoever. The 50 cents I could have got, that really didn't make any sense because that was an off price, really. If you're going to raise the price, do it $1 or $2. You know, 50 cents, that didn't make any sense. All right? I'm just saying. Excuse me, I'm in New York. I've been here for 6 years. And I'm just saying.
Hi, my name is Patrick. I live in Dallas, Council District 11. I'm also a member of the Dallas Area Transit Alliance. I'm here to speak primarily against the frequency reductions. Today, in order to get down here to HQ from my apartment in far north Dallas, I had to leave my apartment at 8:30 with today's frequency. These frequency reductions are going to greatly increase travel time across the system as riders have to wait longer for connection times or even just to start their trip. I also want to say GoLink services are not a good substitute for fixed route services. While GoLink can be more flexible than a fixed route, it's less predictable and more expensive for the agencies to drive. I'm also opposed to several of the Addison service additions because there are existing duplicative services in that area, and the trips those new services are targeted at could be better served by increasing frequencies on existing routes, or maybe a couple feet of sidewalk to make the connection easier. Thank you.
Is our bus gonna wait on that?
Yes.
Okay.
You said your bus?
Is our bus service gonna wait on us? Okay, all right.
We're not free.
Okay, that's all.
And my name is Mary Witherspoon, and I'm a rider of the Dark Paratransit for the last 9 years or so. I have been to one of these meetings before where, again, you've mentioned that there's a $50 million savings that you're targeting to get. I understand that DART itself has 220,000 riders per day that will be impacted, but that the paratransit cuts in service area and the fares are going to make up $10 million out of that 50,000 that is targeted for such a small group, bearing 20% of what you're looking at. That's my concern, because those service area reductions include medical facilities and other things that are critical to our lives. So thank you for letting me make that comment.
Just a reminder, we are getting close to our time, so we'll take a few more comments. There are comment cards that we definitely encourage you to use if you don't have the opportunity to speak today.
Hi, my name is Ken Duplay. I live in 1529 Hickory Street. I use DART on what is uses DART exclusively to get around. And I'm here to speak out against this 5% cut, the so-called general mobility plan, which is the opposite of what it says. There's actually less mobility with this plan, and you pay more for it. Now, we all know where this came from. Where this came from was a group of people were trying to cut DART by 25%. And so we went down to Austin, and we fought that 2 days. And I was there 23 hours, and we basically set those hostages free. So here it is, there's a hostage negotiation going on, the hostages are free, and DART's still trying to pay ransom. Now this is going to result in reduce services for people that need it most. And the people never agreed to this. There's 13 member cities in DART. Each one of these member cities agreed that out of $100 that's spent for retail, there's going to be $1 going for public transit for DART, not 95 cents. The public never agreed to this, and yet we're trying to do something that the public never agreed to. It's time to listen to the people.
Hey, good morning. So as a family medicine doctor in Dallas, I am invested in preventative health care. I've explained previously how patients I have worked with who express the same sentiments that you hear today would be affected by these changes to DART, whether it's heavy financial impact or limiting their health care if they can't make it to their appointments. And some of us have expressed the injustices faced by our vulnerable communities with these under-reduced services. In addition to all these concerns, I want to highlight how adequately funded and service DART is a form of preventative health care, especially in the form of air pollution, which contributes to asthma, cancer, heart diseases, brain diseases, reproductive diseases, basically our whole body. And a lot of us already have conditions that will be further worsened by increased air pollution. And one of the huge contributors to this is automobile reliance. So if we decrease the funding, if we decrease these services, that means more of us who have adequate transportation will have to rely on that more for the congesting our roads, which means more pollution, more sicker people. And that's something that we should be opposed against, right? We want to have healthier, cleaner air for everyone to breathe. In addition to allowing continued services for folks to get their health and life needs met. So I want to stress that if anyone is concerned that their region is receiving less service value than their contributions to a DART, arguably, you and your loved ones' health benefits supporting DART. We all do. Less sick people means more people who are able to contribute to your communities, spend time with their loved ones, get their needs met, and without significant financial burdens and less healthcare costs. And if you want to talk money, that's where the real savings are.
It's in front of you.
I would like to address the fact that like Lovefield, Golden, there's a neighborhood that's east of Lovefield that Golden does not serve. Now, if people have enough money to buy a plane ticket, to go on to travel, they don't need to go there. There's a shuttle, the number 5, that runs every 15 minutes. But that Golden would be more successful if we service the neighborhood east of Lovefield. Also, I want to say about the rally points. Some businesses close at 10 o'clock, but your services run into midnight. So if we're in a store that doesn't close at 11 or stay open 24 hours and we have a rally point, sometimes the parking lot, say the rally point's Walmart. Walmart closes at 10 o'clock and all the lights are off in that parking lot. So there's going to be a security issue for our protection. The other thing I want to address is going up on the ferry from the distance of the Golden. Transdale was given a $600 million contract for 8 years per to give it. And Transdale has subcontracted it out. The Transdale has subcontracted it out to Orion, Big Storm, C-Car, and 100-fold. Not only did they subcontract it out, the drivers of the Golden vans have to rent their cars every week. They have to pay $60 a week to drive the van. So how are we losing money? Plus, just like we do with your door bus drivers, if they have an accident, the door bus drivers and the van drivers have to pay the deductible for the accident. So I'm saying that you don't need to go up on our fares for distance. It needs to stay a fixed fare.
As I noted, we're close to time, but what I would ask is that...
Can we have more time?
One second, sir. If you have not spoken at any of our other meetings, previous meetings, we're going to give you the opportunity to speak today. And if you have spoken at our other meetings, we ask that you write your comments down and lend this time to individuals that have never spoken at any of our meetings before. Thank you.
I got a question.
Wait a minute.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eugene Dayton. I'm here at the Voice of Casa Catan, a neighborhood advocate for service improvements in the DART system. First of all, I'd like to address the cost recovery inflationary comments regarding the costs and pressures of the agency. There is an alternative, and that is to return and revisit the DART service system prior to January 2022. One example of waste and abuse of funds, we went in one area from 5 routes to 12 routes to cover the same territory. A second territory, we went from 5 existing routes to 7. A third area in the city, we went from 7 routes to cover the city to 14 new routes. I can't see the justification for that kind of waste expenditure in employees, equipment, and costs, which is a result of today's action. The federal government is planning major reductions in funding across the system nationally. Unfortunately, DART is wasting money. Second, I'd like to advocate for the reinstatement of Route 542 in the North Oak Cliff Hispanic community area. An alternative to eliminating Route 242 Walnut Hill would be to reinstate Route 374 and get a true accounting of the ridership. Our neighborhood has ADA ridership, senior citizens, people who do not own a car and therefore dependent upon this route for their transportation. In addition, it is a complete deception and falsehood to indicate that there is an alternative ridership system. The Go Link service at Lake Highlands does not go east of Jupiter Road, so it eliminates half of the territory. Second, Walnut Hill to East Northwest Highway is greater than a quarter of a mile distance if we have to walk that far to get to the next nearest bus. Just to name 2 of the falsehoods. So I hope to make this presentation Tuesday to the full board, and I don't know where the board members are, because I'd like the business card for the director of budget, I believe, and the director of planning, because I'm going to call them next week to try to get copies of this presentation. There are falsehoods, there are deceptions in each of those comments. Again, regarding Route 242, if it was based on ridership or revenue, you have falsehoods, because this whole year, over and over again, bus drivers have indicated that the fare box was not working, refusing to accept payment for paying passengers, refusing to issue the reduced bus fare for senior citizens. Even when requesting a day pass, instead of giving a reduced day pass after paying your $3, you get a regular day pass. So the counts and the characteristic of the ridership is not true. Countless riders get on like they own the system, don't even bother to try to pay the fare and ride free.
Mr. Gay,
can I direct you to Hans Michael, so we can get some other individuals, because we are well beyond our time.
No, I understand, and I appreciate this meeting and the time that I've been allowed, but it's about half of the presentation that I had. Thank you.
Thank you. And for information regarding the board meeting on our website, you can get that information on the website as well.
I just want to ask one question. Why are they considering cutting 378? A lot of people use
378?
Yeah.
Excuse me, how much? 378.
Why are they considering cutting 378?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so mainly because there's alternative services available, but also because of ridership of the express routes, there's 5 of them, 378, so there's 2 of them who are up here, and then the other 3 are down here. 378 is one of those, it never came back from after the pandemic. Some days we don't even get 100.
I believe you because I ride.
So you've seen how it changed. It's changed a lot, and we don't
But a
want.
lot of people were coming in.
I agree, and I love the one-seat ride that you guys get. And we have people all the way from Mansfield and from Waxahachie who drive in for that service.
There's no way they can keep that. I mean, okay,
We
people are saying,
appreciate.
can't do the 306, and then come and do
We,
378.
that is an
Then go out
option
there.
that would not be popular with 306 customers.
I know.
I think you know that.
A lot of people are asking me that.
Yes, ma'am. Tell them to call in, tell them to leave their comment. That's important, that matters.
Okay.
This concludes our Q&A segment of our meeting.
Oh, you
We
should have killed
appreciate
it.
all of your comments. We thank you for your comments and your questions. And I just want to remind everyone, there are additional opportunities for you and your family and your friends to share your concerns about these potential changes. So we encourage you to attend those meetings as you did today.
And you cut off for another, for only get an hour to
Public hearing
speak.
community meetings will take place through July 1st, and the public hearings will be at DART headquarters on Tuesday, July 8th.
Or we won't get more
So
time.
this concludes our meeting, and we thank you for attending.
Yeah, well, whatever. I still didn't like what you had to say.
Again, if you haven't turned in your cards, please raise your hand and we'll come and get them.
Ma'am, do you need a hand?
I'm trying.
You need a brace against someone, or?
I got it. I think. My body has a problem. I had a fall yesterday and I'm feeling it today.
Bruise?
And I'm not too happy. My hips have not been happy anyway.
Any swelling or heart or stiffness?
I'm aware of.
Okay. I mean, like I said, just.
Already was not physically able to maneuver a lot.
Did you tell your primary care physician, just in case?
I'm gonna wait. I see her the middle of next month, so I'm not keep it. I'm still hurting my
Just,
well, she'll ask me, have you had any falls or hot?
yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, there's no such thing as a minor fall. Anything can happen. I mean, blood clots, bruising. Oh, I'm sorry.
I twisted funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, and with osteoporosis, there's also things you got to worry about too. So.
Yeah, well, I got osteoporosis too.
Oh.
That's one of the things that bothers me about the rate increase. If they rate increase it to $6, that's $12 a day.
Yes.
And I'm a dialysis patient, so if I usually use the bus and the train.
Yeah.
I don't do the paratransit because I can't afford it. Already can't afford it. But if they, but inclement weather and stuff like that,
right.
I would would love to be able to use paratransit, but if they increase it to $12 a day, so it's $12 a day round trip, just to go and come back from where you need to go.
It's not just that. I mean, it's not just the money; it's the time. So you guys are going to be losing. They look like they're going to like they said the wait times are going to double. So if you were like if it took you 8 hours to get somewhere, it's going to take you 16 hours to get somewhere now.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet Jesus. This is not good. Oh, this is a nice little pen. Yeah, but that's just scribbles. Like
That's
I said,
okay, we'll translate it.
yeah, probably not. Is there a way we can post something online?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So on your brochure, this website right here,
Yeah.
there's a comment card area. You
Okay.
can drop your comments there.
Appreciate it. Yeah, because they're gonna need it. One of the things that never got addressed here was the World Cup. Y'all got that coming in next.
But that's not part of the public hearing.
Yeah, but the thing is that, like I said, you already got problems with the transit as is, and so you're gonna have all that going through. And then on top of that, are you guys aware of the fact that whenever y'all do stuff like this, cut the transit or mess with the transit, we've got people that are running illegal businesses that are selling cars that are unsafe and illegal on the streets because they don't have the transit option anymore. So that's an issue that's been going on. As I go through community drive and stuff like that, I see people having cars on blocks, cars that have structural damage, cars that don't have fenders and bumpers and stuff like that, cars that don't have registration, that have paper tags, and there are going to be more of those on the streets whenever you have bad transit. So, just saying.
Trust that you guys will make this. But this would be obviously there's a lot of arguments.
Let me see if I can get you this.
It is like a starting to be like they did, and that was not counted for in the earnings in the annual report, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I don't think they didn't take account in PCI funds for the trip program.
Have you heard of Dallas Area Transit Lines?
Oh, you got a card?
No, we don't, but we did have a meeting in the library at 1:30.
Yep.
They're going to send somebody from DART to come talk to us
So
about
trip-
stuff.
so trip
We'll be on the
was,
5th floor at 1:30
trip
of the
is
library.
the payments to non-
If you're sticking around, you're welcome to join us and ask your questions there too.
And PCI was the excess sales funds that were COVID grants.
Okay. And those yeah, no, I think it's a really good point. And staff has to but I think everyone, yeah, I think it would be helpful. I don't know if you're going to make some kind of presentation, whatever, but if you have very specific points about either if there is going to be a general mobility program, these are the protections. If there is going to be a general mobility program, X, if you want to say X, or like you're saying, if you can save things, save frequency, I think that would be helpful.
Who would you want us to send it back to?
Please send it to me.
I'll report.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you usually, I don't think I've gotten any.
I sent you an email.
I've not read it.
Okay. I was actually inviting you to our meeting today.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I was like, yeah. Yeah. 1:30.
No, the guy told me 1:30 over there over at the Purple Library. I'd love to go, but I've been up all night, so.
Well, if your camera setup going on.
Yeah, might as well use it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
If you don't, like I said, if you don't mind, I'd cut you out.
I trust you're not gonna use it for anything.
I'm just gonna go to YouTube.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you're okay with that.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you.
And we've got some time.
Trying to see if y'all were part of some Strong Towns group or something. So.
We are adjacent, Strong Towns adjacent. One of our members runs the local Strong Towns local compensation.
Right, the SCLT. Okay, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, he's got videos on YouTube and everything. Yeah, they just had the one about the electric bike.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, so he's actually the guy who started up that. So I can put you in touch with him.
And I think
here right now. No, I think I got him from because I'm on Strong Town.
Gotcha.
I paid him, to help them out. But yeah, they sent me the thing and everything. All the news. I just haven't had time to come down there yet.
Oh yeah,
kind of cool to see y'all down here. Though.
Great. I think we're all fans of them.
Yeah.
Everybody here knows who they are.
Yeah.
And I'm a member too.
Oh, okay. And you saw the thing about the budget meeting? What was it, a couple months ago? They had the thing where you can do the planner and find out, basically they said the Dallas is broke. So
gotcha. Work-life balance.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
About every
American city.
Well, I'm glad to see y'all here. Like I said, I was worried that I'd come down here and I'd be the only person here and I'd be talking back and forth. So there's a lot of anger. There's a lot of control. Maybe it'll mean something. Maybe it'll mean action. I mean,
hope so.
Yeah, got us paying more money for less service. So that's not going to fly.
Yeah. Next month, the Dallas Urbanist, the local conversation, we do just mixer that's every other month, so there'll be one next month in July. I think he's put it out on social media or will soon before that, but it's like mid-July on a Saturday afternoon.
That's what it was. Y'all always have it on the weekend, and I work on the weekends. I just happen to be on vacation, and this it's like the perfect confluence of I said, you know what, I'm gonna stay up all night. I'm gonna come here, get some footage, post it on YouTube. See what people say. See if anybody gets ticked off or whatever, So.
You're working a night shift.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. Miss out on a lot.
Well, Hexel would he's been trying to meet everyone. Like if you put your name in on his website, he could arrange a one-on-one meeting with you just to get to know you and what you're interested in and all that.
Yeah.
And his schedule's pretty flexible, so he could work around your schedule.
I think I'm going to try to get him to come down. So I've been working with another group, and they fortunately, it's called the Friends of Bachman Lake, and so I've been.
Oh, okay. I've heard of them.
Yeah, so I've been going to their little things. The last Wednesday they had their little mixer. They do it every fourth Monday, so maybe I can ask them to come down there and talk to that group.
He
or
would
something.
love to. I mean, speaking for him,
Yeah.
I think he would love to.
Yeah, I had to talk to him. So
No, there's a lot going on at Bachman Lake between the new skate park and then that Lemon Avenue Trail that connects and goes down by the airport, and then there's a shared use path along Harry Hines from the Bachman station that goes north. You've seen that? It's like a 12-foot wide walk and bike path.
I have not. I'm gonna have to go check that out. Get some footage. Yeah. So but I have seen I wasn't. In fact, last week I got some one of my first 360 videos. Because I finally got some of the George Coker observation points. So it looked kind of neat, And the thing that took me off was I went to the Good Neighbor program, and they didn't have any of the maps of what they were going to be doing. And I was like, well, what are you going to have in the presentation? You tell us all this stuff, but you don't have any maps. And then you go over to George Coker, and they got it all proudly displayed over there. And I was like, it's nice that you got it up here, but I can see already what you're doing, and they've got the little concrete up there, and they've got the over in Lemon, they're still working on it. They just put down the sod last week.
Okay.
So they said that they're trying to get that one up and running before August of this year.
Yeah.
And then they're working on phase 3, so they're getting the connector. You can see them start digging up the dirt and stuff like that. They even put up a new signpost over there by Airdrome. Unfortunately, we got into kind of a spat we were talking to the guy, and he was talking about they're going to put some kind of beautification thing on Airdrome and Mockingbird, but you can't walk to it, you can't bike to it. You're just supposed to drive by and say, oh, gee, all those plants look really nice and pretty. And I was like, you're not going to be seeing that going at 40 or 50 miles an hour. You're just going to be zooming through there and trying to avoid the person in front of you who's kind of zoned out or can't figure out where to go to the airport. So.
Yeah, I know.
It's difficult out.
Efforts are very disjointed.
Yeah.
That's the airport. That's Love Field, I believe, doing that.
Yes.
It's kind of trail. No, it's a parks department. But then somebody at the city told me, no, that's actually Love Field doing that trail.
So to give you an idea,
none of them talk to each other.
Right. So like 3,700 Shorecrest. I had some grass growing over the sidewalk, and so I put in a 311 request and said, hey, go ahead and can y'all clear that out? Code, or I'll send it to Code. Code said, yeah, that's a pretty bad problem. It's our property, but that actually belongs to Parks. So they sent it over to Parks. And then Parks said, yeah, that is a bad problem, but it's not us. That goes to airport now. And I was like, so the airport does that now? I was like, okay, it's like the buck pass.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got
I've run into that.
I got graffiti on a bridge, and I told them I've got to, and I'm talking to the state rep. I'm talking to TechStock. TechStock is arguing with Dallas Dot, saying that's not us, that's not us. And I said, you know what, guys? I'm just going to go down to Sherman-Williams, find out what blends with that bridge, and I'm just going to put some rollers on it.
That's what you have to do.
So,
because who owns this? I've run into a few spots that I've tried to report, and it just gets like a
jurisdictional
ping pong ball
shouting
all the
match.
way. Yeah. Oh, that's TechStock. No, it's Dallas.
I mean, sidewalks on Northwest Highway, sidewalks on Harry Hines. If it's a state highway, oh my God.
Yeah.
We're recommending this.
Well,
based on the feedback.
We're glad you seem to be working on this hard.
It's everybody. I'm glad to see that too, and you know, it's because of the whole climate change thing, and
it feels like there's something coming together here. All these different groups.
Yeah, because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
We got maybe 10 years before. I mean, we don't even have 10 years. I mean, this year has been kind of a mild summer, but how long is that going to last? You know, and we've got the heat island effect, and something's got to be done about that. I mean, we've got, and then of course, every time you look on the TV, you turn on the thing, there's pedestrian deaths, there's the bicycle deaths, and it's senseless, and they can do something about it.
Just locked into this terrible trajectory.
Yeah. So, we're all over the map, but we're trying to get something done.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to you, man. My name's Wayman, by the way.
I'm Jason.
Nice to meet you. Yeah. Oh, Jason. Sorry. Jason. Did you want me to cut you out?
No, if there's anything useful, I don't mind.
Okay, I have that. And I asked people, and it's like, I've been having this conversation. He's like, I'm sure he'll cut me out, but just I'll ask. Do you want me to? Okay.
No, if there's a bit that is useful in your work, you're welcome to use it.
I'm just the guy posting stuff that I see on the thing, and the people can make up their own decisions.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they're smart enough. You know, I don't have to put spin on anything. Plus, I'm lazy. All right, Jason.
Okay.
I'm thinking this way.
Oh, I'm gonna get some sleep. I wish I had some more free time.
For example,
I'm surprised this thing's still going. Thanks. Oh! Guess I'm not getting out that way.
You just push.
No. Oh, okay. The magnetic seal was on.
Yeah.
Whew, now that's the Dallas I know and love. Man. Somebody brought the heat. Yeah, for real. I think blue line will take me where I want to go.
I guess so. We're going west end. I guess we're hopping on this train. Where are we going? Train. West end, some taco shop. Oh, we're going to see one. I don't want to. I just want to be an ally. Guys at the meeting. See y'all. I don't know where they're going.
They said they're going to the West End station.
Ah, gotcha.
But you're gonna hit up, like I said, we got an orange line coming in 5, maybe.
I'm probably just gonna go grab lunch somewhere down that way.
I'll just see them back at the library.
I think you can go to that corporate park down there. I think that's around the corner here. No, maybe it's back that way.
The AT&T one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that way. It's all the way that way.
Yeah.
I'll figure something out.
They got a whole bunch of, I think, eating places over there.
Yeah.
So.
What's your name again?
Wayman.
Alex.
Nice to meet you. Yeah. I was just talking to Jason over there.
Yeah.
One guy came by a bike, a whole bunch of people went on the train, and he's going by foot. All methods of alternate transit, almost like somebody scripted this. Oh.
You saved me one, man. I usually don't eat cookies after lunch, but thank you though. I appreciate it. It's the thought that counts though. Tap up. It's the thought that counts. Most people don't think about brothers. Brother Daddy. Brother Daddy.
And I think I could have took the red and blue line and it would have took me back home. Funny part is, there's still ice in my pack. Going that way. That's the guy that was vomiting. Looked like he was vomiting in the trash can earlier. Oh, he dumped cargo and landed. That's me.
DFW Airport Station. Next stop, West End Station.
talking about? The good grill? Man, tender. You got meat tender? Man. Let's talk about some real eat. Man. I tested it out, man.
Sorry, major system-wide service is January 2026, and your input is vital. Parent funding majorly serves at Akard.
I don't get it all the time. You don't need no reason to make it with a pie to make it all rich. You know how to eat the way you can make hamburgers. Go cook them in the oven. You bake them. Put them all on the pan. Then all of these I'll just pour your grease side. That's it. I like them when they're trying to like that. Oh, man. Yeah. That's way less. That's yeah. My food gave though. Yeah, I have somebody who really know how to like it. Yeah. I really know how to cook all this stuff. Yeah. I got to keep out my mouth. You all they telling her. Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah. How you made out there? Yeah. It was busy. Yeah. I left it about 90. Oh, yeah? I think about 100. About 50 to 100. $100 a day. It all depends on who it is. What's wrong with that? I'm getting the man. Oh, you find the light here now. Like the right in my bucket. All right, see you. That pass? No, I'm taking ticket to pass. Oh yeah. I'm just meeting to go to the market center reserve. Oh, 31 days. I see it.
Give me a second. Ooh, that's hot.
What is the whisper? Yeah. She got what? That's it. Hey, you gotta come out the stairway, man.
But that's gone away. I can't get the annual pass anymore.
It's best to be simple. Be at work. Hey, nice talking to you. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, bro. My last, my Friday. Okay.
No, I thought that that wall that I was sitting up against had a window, and I was catching like all the stuff that was going on behind me. So I got a 360 view of the wall. Oh, I guess they finally fixed this. That's too bad. I was hoping they'd leave it that way. I suppose I could have gone without sleep for the rest of the day. Go to that meeting at 1:30, be tired out of my mind, and then just be up for 48 hours straight. Oh, by then I guess my footage, yeah, abuela, I guess my footage would have been done by now. That's the only problem, man, with doing this video editing is I lose a day every single time I got to do one of these 360 videos. The 4Ks aren't much better. You lose about 4 or 5 hours to those. fan bill is hurting. Be able to wave your hand. Not anymore. Ran that red light. Clack-a! See what we got here. What the people who clean out the canal was saying was that that's a code enforcement issue. So it's supposed to be the owner that cleans that out, and I'm like, okay. I don't believe you, but okay. Oh, the street buckled. I noticed that vulture made out of iron and hooks. So it was the only dirt meeting I could go to that was right by the rail. And I still have to walk to the rail. Just to hear them say that, I get an annual pass through my job. They're like, yeah, we're getting rid of that. Okay. Now, I didn't say anything because everybody there had a much more legitimate gripe, and that is they had elderly disabled there, and it's like, what are you doing? You're doubling our rates, reducing the frequency, and for what? Elections have consequences. Y'all keep voting for those turds in Austin, and this is what you're gonna get. Like I said, y'all don't think that the mass transit is a big deal. Just wait. When these streets have double the amount of people on them and they have lower quality cars, suddenly there's an increase in accidents and hit and runs. You'll be begging for mass transit. Poor people don't go away just because you take away their means. They just have a habit of coming to your front door. And the problem you thought was a million miles away is on your doorstep. It was an interesting trip. Seeing the guy, I don't know if he was yelling at me or he was yelling at the Asian fella up in the upper rows. I thought he was looking at me, but he wasn't looking at me. He's just flipping out, having a schizophrenic episode. And he seemed harmless, and I'm sure the people that were, like I said, normally on there probably know all about him. But if you've never ridden before and all of a sudden he comes up to you acting like that, crow, female crow. Pum, 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 pum. You know, I'm eventually I'm going to call this in. Kendale Community. Might be a scam too. Broken Bottle Blues. Yeah, I think that's a scam. I'm gonna enjoy this while it lasts. I love that. I mean, they put all brand new crosswalk buttons up here, man. That is awesome. Court enforcement said they didn't see any problem with this. They had no problem with this whatsoever. They said there's no real violation here. So tell me something, when an old lady goes by with her walker and she slips and falls and breaks her hip, does she get to sue the city of Dallas for the mud that wasn't a big deal? No, that lady that had the slip and fall, that said that she fell on her side, that keeps up, they're not going to let her live by herself. They can't put her in an assisted living facility either, she probably can't afford it. Some of those folks, they probably can't drive. You'll say, oh, they just drive. It's like they can't drive. They probably have a history of seizures on their anti-seizure medication, and so they're not allowed to drive. They might have blindness in their eyes due to diabetes complications. And I know what they're talking about with the whole park and ride paratransit thing. My dad tried that, and we spent all day trying to get him a pass. He finally got it, and when the guy took him to the place, my dad said he was terrified for his life. Said he got a bad driver. The guy was out there earlier. Well, hopefully staying hydrated. Put my hand by it. Wait. I can't get enough. Manhole cover still up. Oh man, if I had the time. Case in point, she's walking down Larga, and I asked for a. That reminds me, did they? Nope. Well, you know, maybe they'll get to it. I think they closed my ticket out. No, they said they'll review it. Anyway, she's walking by the curb there, and I put in a request about 5 years ago. I think it's been 5 years, almost, for sidewalks all along the other side of Larga. He just tripped over the thing I asked them to fix. That's not a good sign, is it? All right, let me see if I can get some of that good footage. Yeah, they fixed it. Temporary paving repair. Okay. It's a water valve cover. Jackass driving too goddamn fast. So that was a water valve, and I guess they replaced the whole thing. Well, I can pull that one off the stack. Sometimes they close my ticket out and they say, oh yeah, we took care of it, and they didn't take care of it. Although in some cases, I had them take care of something and then the person who put it up there puts another one up there. I'm like, all right. Guy's like, I can do this all day. And I was like, no, you really can't. You run out of numbers after a while. Man, I can't believe this thing's still going. Better call Saul. So the quick and dirty patch that I asked them to put down here, or I asked them to replace all of this, they put a quick and dirty patch, and the quick and dirty patch is coming up too. I don't know what they were trying to accomplish with that. I said, well, I guess it's better than what was up. It was there before, just barely. Thanks for taking care of that, sir. All right, what am I gonna get bit by now? I'm okay now, I got my shots. There's more I say for what probably bit me. You hear that, ladies? I've had all my shots. Sorry, I was watching Leisure Suit Larry stuff and thinking that sounds like a line from the series. That's right, ladies. He's had all his shots. I love how this is such a fucking mess. Larga, man, it just never stops. He couldn't ride down the street because they had the car parked over. Oh man. The city needs love. I mean, this section needs love, man. No matter what you think, we need love in this neighborhood. Yes, we'll take even the tough love. I guess if you wanted to know, can you run an Insta360 off of an external battery, the answer is yes. I thought this sucker was going to overheat. I thought something was going to drain. It's an insufficient power supply. This thing that has 2 cameras on it that record in 4K, 360 degrees, has no problem recording video, whereas the GoPro tells me, oh, you don't have a sufficient enough power supply. Don't get me wrong, the Insta360 is not perfect, but I can't believe it's better than the GoPro, and I don't think they've been around as long. Alright, I got a lot of video to process. I got a new computer coming in that hopefully will help me with that. I can test out the Atom Mine G7, find out what that's all about. If need be, I guess I'll just get me another computer too, and we'll keep this up until I get video editing down to a science. There's a lot of assholes out here, man.